working in country's top accelerators and incubators.
He also works closely with the CEOs of all the startups and increases their awareness on the Azure platform by enrolling them in the BidSpark program. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Prabhjot Bakshi to the stage.
One of the completely job which we are doing it now. And let me go a little off beat and play a video. I don't have a video jack at this moment. I mean, I'm not sure whether the sound would be there. I don't think it will be there because I've not connected it. So let me try to play it. So I'm going to demonstrate something in ad world, what kind of innovation they are trying it. And then we'll conclude with that at the end, last slide. So let me play the video first. So here's the video. And here we go. There's no sound actually. I have no idea when I connect to the projector the sound disappears, but no worries. If you look at the video, you'll realize it's a James Bond in Par Bahar ad. Okay, so that's interesting. I think I should not continue with the video, but maybe you'll get an idea now. Is it okay? I'll disconnect the video. So that's what it is. So I'm not sure it's a good idea or bad idea. Okay, but definitely there is something today, what we call it as misconception around innovation, that we say that innovation means a lot of ideas. And that's where I differ a little, and I say it should be an idea with a guidance. Or idea needs guidance. So that's what I'm displaying. I'm not sure it's a good idea or bad idea, but definitely any idea for that matter needs a guidance. And then for that matter, probably it's very important for us to know the technology. We need to figure out what all is available and how we can take benefit of that. That's super important, and that's where I'm talking about this topic called IoT with cloud, how you club two technologies and work on the ideas. And how to drive innovation in your companies or business. That's what the whole idea is here from my side, and where I'm coming and where I'm going to. I'm setting up IoT with cloud labs across India, and I've already signed 25. I'm probably target is to go with 800 or 900. I've not done any MOUs in the eastern part, but use case, and then I do have IoT. What's digitalization of a business means, and I think you all know that we've been interacting with each other through phones, through emails. It's been fantastic. And if you talk about the business, which is on the right-hand side of mine, the other extreme, we have ERP systems called SAP, JD Edward, PeopleSoft, and we have a lot of software, e-commerce sites, Flipkart. So business is in place, but what's not there in that room, that kind of information is there with us in an ERP system. But or maybe the projector for that matter, what all projector we have in this room versus that room. But if a projector start communicating that I'm not going to work, that's what I was talking about the jack. If it says I'm not going to work, that's where digitalization will happen. I want the things to communicate. Okay, that's important, very important. And that's the foundation, that's the need for your smart cities. You've heard of that? You heard of? Is it okay? It's something called the Smart City Initiative. That will only happen when things get talking to each other. And that's what I like about it, that e-commerce business is different from your digitalization of a business, because you integrate the things which are connected and intelligent called IoT. What is IoT? So IoT is a simple concept where we can connect any device with the switch on or off to the internet. And if you see, there's a device, I kept it, it's called Raspberry Pi. I'm carrying it with me now. And this device enables existing devices or machines or any projector to communicate to the cloud. So this will enable, this small device is very powerful, and that's, at this moment, it's called Raspberry Pi. I'm narrowing down my presentation to Raspberry Pi. And if I pause for a minute, I think I've written something on the heading, it's called, it's time for IoT. And if I do a little flashback, I was pretty happy with the internet, e-commerce. I did a lot of work there. in 96, 98, 99. I was very excited about it, and suddenly I realized that it had a limitation, and there was something called mobile apps. They were very powerful because they had something which internet couldn't give us on the laptops or devices, was that longitude and latitude. It was fantastic. I mean, I was surprised when I had a discussion with somebody, I know it very closely, he's the owner of Sunbird. I said, let's make app on phone. He said, no, I don't want to make app. I hate your Facebook. I hate other things. I said, what's wrong? He said, no, I don't like those likes are there. People take, but it never converts to my sales, I thought, okay, maybe tomorrow is be okay. Today we are inside the bar. Again, tomorrow morning also he started creeping. He said, no, I want to make an app. I want to give discount to only those people who go to bar every week, twice. I want to call them, invite them to go up for my event. I don't want to give discount to everybody. Then I realized what he's asking for is longitude, like what you do in the evening, where you go. That's the reason when you see Make My Trip, when you see Mantra online, they say there is no website. You have to download the app because today morning you bought the sandal, what you do in the evening. Flipkart, and I was searching for sandal, and that makes sense because I'm an influencer. Mobile phone on the top of a water, in a bucket, and I ask how cold is the water. The mobile will not work. That's where the pins comes in. Pins connects to the sensor, and that's where the revolution. Otherwise, believe me, it's a mobile app. There's no change. But this is brilliant. And one of the, I cannot name the name of the institute there, but students are working there. They created an interesting product. I'm not sure whether it's marketable or not. But when you have they have a sensor on a diaper. So if a diaper gets wet, mama gets an SMS. Okay, that's brilliant actually. Is it okay? That's what I say. I'm least bothered about whether it sells or not, whether smart diaper comes in the market or not. But I'm liking it, where it is heading. That's where digitalization of things would be, digitalization of business would be. Oh, wow. Is it okay? So what makes this board very interesting is the pin, and inside the pin there is GPU I/O. It's called general purpose input input and output, where we get signals. So yes, this board has limitations that you can have only 22, 26, I don't remember the count, that many sensors connected if you have more than one. So what we do, we use an Arduino board. So Arduino board is a small board where you code with C++. That's what I'm doing currently, implementing a real-time project where we're putting it in the parking slots. So from there, board will have a communication to this. This will communicate to cloud because this is a safe gateway. We don't want C# coding straight away going to cloud. We want it to go through an OS called into IoT OS. So from those small boards, Arduino boards, it will connect this. From there, so this becomes a gateway, and from there it will be going to the cloud. That's interesting. Any questions you have? Any questions in between now? No? Shall I move forward? So far so good? Okay, perfect. Now that's what I'm saying. I'm going to shift technologies like crazy. So you pause me for questions. Is it okay? So now we're jumping onto something which is called Azure, and I mean that's something I'll come back on this slide because it was sort of a summarization, but I think it's wrongly placed. Yeah, you have a question.
I think you just missed the slide because there was a picture of few devices.
There was picture of a few devices. No, it's only one device. I'll make it interesting. That you have Raspberry Pi with the pins. So you can see the pins connecting to the breadboard. From breadboard, I'm connecting to the windmill, and I operate on this. Is that okay? Let's not talk about it. I have better use case. I have a better use case to talk about. Okay, what we can do with this, we can talk about that later. But right now, according to the flow, I'm not going to spend time on that. Okay, the flow, you'll realize that there'll be use case. I'll be discussing about that. Is it okay? Shall I move forward? Okay, so now to talk about Azure, which is, I mean, it could be any cloud. It could be Amazon, for that matter. It could be any other, Google also. But where we have strength, because I'm representing Microsoft as a MVP, so that's where I'll spend more time. But for this matter, you can use any other cloud. But if you look at the cloud, you have various data centers across the globe. So it means if I have a Raspberry Pi connected to a machine and machine is in Australia, it makes sense for that to communicate to the Australia data center. So latency would be low, it's going to be faster. Something like your Facebook, your pictures it gets multiple, and it gets whatever you call it. I mean, it gets what do you call it? It gets multiple. I mean, it's the same pictures get duplicated here. This redundancy. That's a technical term. Is it okay? Because your speed of people accessing from that zone would be faster. You know? So the data center is fantastic. I mean, the concept of scale out. I mean, and the other thing which I like about it, if you take the case of Ola, in the evening 6 to 9, they have traffic. The number of servers will go up, and after 9 it will reduce. So that's amazing. I mean, you pay for that moment. It's called auto scaling. So this is beautiful infrastructure. If you look at Microsoft, then probably we have 2.5 times more than AWS data center, and we have 7 times more than Google data centers. As such, at this moment we have 34 regions covered, and 30 we are general available. I'm not pitching here and saying Azure is the best. No, that's not the intention. Is it okay? But I know some facts which I'm putting it across. Now we're going on to. So that's coming back to the summarization. Let's spend. So I just spoke about there's people are running after ideas, but there's a guidance required. Correct? That's slide 1. Correct? That's a take home. Second, I spoke about digital business. The things should start communicating. I want the projector to start communicating. Okay. Then I said it's time for IoT. I see mobile cannot do it. You know. Mobile is not capable of what IoT devices are capable of doing it. Is it okay? They're not sensor enabled. If next year probably things, I mean, I know for a fact all the devices in future would be IoT enabled. It means I buy a TV, it will be having I need not to plug in IoT device in that. It will be pre-built. Right now also you have it, like you have a camera in television. Okay, anyway, then that's what I was saying. This is the summarization. Now we go into the case study straight away. And the case study is about a Ford car, a connected vehicle. I'm going to go a little slow in this. Okay, and this is where I think you should realize that how real-time people are using IoT cloud together. That's critical. So here we go. So let me go through. I have some bullets points marked here, so I should take along with me that. So the Ford company actually is moving away from a car company. And as a car company, they used to sell. They used to generate revenue by selling parts, they used to sell accessories. And now they're moving towards something which is called mobility, which is on the left-hand side of yours. Is it okay? They're moving towards mobility. And what mobility means to them is that how to make sure that the ambulance reaches emergency in time, how people share cabs and travel, you know. Obviously, if you look at the blueprint also, it's in that direction. There's a lot of air pollution, so a lot of users will go high, but there'll be less number of cars on the roads. And at the center probably of the strategy is connected vehicle. The vehicle is connected, and then the other thing which is important for human, I mean, there's something called blueprint. They must have gone through a blueprint, and they must have created a document saying that, oh, cars should not, if it breaks down, it should tell the person beforehand that I'm going to not work, you know, after 1 hour, you know, I'm going to run out of fuel or whatever. So those blueprints, they must have created it. And based on that, they have come to a strategy called connected vehicle at the center. So they're moving from car company to a mobility company. But there's an infinity sign there. It doesn't mean that they are two different divisions. They'll be connected, they'll be rolling here and there. Okay? And so what do you mean by actually connected vehicle? Connected vehicle means there will be a transmission of a data. A data which can go somewhere and can come from somewhere. So that's what vehicle has to transmit the data. That's what connected vehicle means actually. Okay, now we proceed further. How do they collect the data from? I mean, from where they collect actually? They collect from mobile phones of a consumer, which is called data over voice. That's one. They connect it from embedded modem, which is 4G enabled. I'm talking about the US at this moment. Is it okay? They connect from there, the data. And the third data, they collect, the third kind of data, which is called plug-in device, which is basically when you go take your car that breaks down, they connect it to the system, on-board diagnostic, we call it, port, and from there they get huge number of huge data, huge payload. Obviously the payload is in pyramid format. The topmost will be less, then more, and then more actually. Is it okay? So you get all this data. So this is how, they don't have Raspberry Pi, but you're understanding it's embedded, or they have pre-built IoT devices kind of parts. Is it okay? And then what next actually? Where the data goes from here, from vehicle, it goes to the cloud. And so I do have a list which really specify which data goes where. If you can give me a moment, I can just give you that elaboration also. You know, that will be good. Yeah. So there is a data which is data over voice, which goes to this cloud. Then there's embedded modem data, which goes to Accenture, Telegis, and Ford Cloud. By the way, Ford Cloud is on Azure. That's why probably I know about it. Is it okay? So that second kind of a data goes to this cloud. So it means they're using multiple cloud. Okay, and the other one is plugin data, which again is Delphi, Azure, and Ford Cloud. You know, so all three portions communicating their data to the cloud. That's interesting. Is it okay? That's true also. If you look at iPhone also, they port their data to Amazon, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. They don't have their own data centers at this point. Okay, so this is what true is with the companies, that you port your data to various players on cloud. Okay, now the question is, where does the data goes from vehicle to cloud, and from cloud to where? That's interesting. From cloud, it goes with the help of HTTPS, so it's on a secure mode, and there's something called AMQP. Okay, so that protocol also is there. From AMQP, so that protocol, then FTP, and then HTTPS, it securely transport the data to on-premises. So this is on the cloud, it's called public. But then it goes to Ford Hadoop. That's interesting. So from your car to cloud, which is public, to Hadoop, which is private, in your data center. So they take the data to their data center, and then that's called Hadoop. You heard of Hadoop? Okay, I'll be spending some time, and so that's why I say there's multiple technology coming in, IoT, cloud, Hadoop. You cannot do anything in isolation. That's why I'm clubbing it. Okay, and it's important that you create a solution end-to-end which has all this inbuilt. You know, Hadoop is a place where, I attended a Hadoop summit in the USA and realized one thing. You know, there's a shortcoming. If you look at it, I just want to give you an idea about it. What do you mean by big data? Suppose you take the case of a Boeing. A Boeing take one sortie from one place to another destination. In that duration, it collects, or maybe an entire day it travels, it collects that kind of an amount of a data, that size of a data, which could be of your Facebook transaction for an entire day across the globe. One plane I'm talking. And the wish is to take the data out, put in empty the hard disk, do analysis on top of it, quickly, within half an hour, put the data back, or clean the disk, do an analysis whether we should go for the next sortie or not. But we are not doing that now. I'm not talking about those black box. I'm talking about normal data. It's lying. We're not doing anything in it. So that is called big data, and we need to process it. And we want to come out with solutions. We want to come out with based on that, we want to come and enhance and guide our ideas. Is that okay? So that's where probably Hadoop would be best. So because cars across the road, across the country, so much data would be in grace. So much data would be coming in, and only place which is capable of handling it is called Hadoop, where you need a cloud where scales out, scale up, scale down, or whatever. Is it okay? When needed. Is that okay? So that's also good. There's elasticity on the cloud, and at the same time, when the data is there, you want to process it fast. It should happen. The query should come within nanoseconds. Oh my God, is it okay? By the way, I was there in Hadoop Summit and realized there's a company called Mappa. So they have their own flavor of Hadoop. It's used on Aadhaar card. So whatever we have a data here called Aadhaar card. Everything is stored on Mappa Hadoop because we want to query it will be given in nanoseconds. That's interesting. So there's a lot of elements in Hadoop actually. Hadoop is not small, it's not like one SQL and it's over. No, there are various parts, there are various things, So there's one which is called Storm, which is called real-time analysis. There's something called map and reduce. I'm going to spend some time on that. Okay, so Storm is very similar to what we have. It's called Streams in Microsoft, streaming. And then there's map reduce, OZ, OZ is to do a workflow where we connect all other things, and then at the end it comes and resides in HBase or HHive. That's where we put queries in. So this is what a architect diagram kind of a thing, a rough sketch from a bird eye view of how IoT with cloud and Hadoop get together. Okay, what's time now? Okay, and so it's talking about what kind of a data which is collected. I just want to talk about there's something which is on your dashboard that is collected, and obviously they can collect anything, for that matter. So let's not spend time on this, what kind of a data, but obviously there's something called odometer, how much you travel, things like that at least, So, and whatever is there which shows you light on your dashboard, even that can be taken back to the cloud, and in the backend we can do analysis on top of that. And how much? Normally a car in an hour generates 25 GB of data. It doesn't mean we take 25 GB of data from each car every hour. No, we don't do that, we filter it. That's where probably gateway or some kind of programming should be required at the front end to filter the data which you want to push it back to the cloud, and from cloud to your data, Hadoop. Okay, so now this is a use case I just want to talk about it, where they're using it currently. Say for example, there's an application called ForePass, from where you want to start your car. You want to start the heater before getting in. So you put a command and it goes to the cloud. From cloud, what we do, we put it back to the car, saying that you start it. We give a command to the car to start the car, start the heater. At the same time, we take the data back to the cloud also, Hadoop also. And then basically then we notify on the mobile phone also that it's been confirmed, the car started, kind of. But we keep collecting the data, or they keep collecting the data at the end in the Hadoop to do an analysis of how many people are doing it, why they're doing it, what time they do it, So all that analysis must be happening on the Hadoop platform in the backend. And there's one more interesting use case is that suppose in the abroad you buy a car, you don't buy a car, you take it on rent for 3 months. So say for example, Prabhjot has taken it for $350 a month, and the deal is 24 months is the time period, and I have to run this much miles, But then what they do, we keep collecting the data, do an analysis in the back, give it to the feedback to the Ford credit team, and it says that the person is not using it, he's not going to reach 224K miles in next 3 months. We predict it. I hope you're getting it. The prediction is a beautiful thing, that's where Hadoop, and then there's one more technology, I want to come to that later, it's called machine learning. So that will come. But there's prediction which is possible, not just with the Hadoop, but there's something else called machine learning on top of that. If that, Hadoop can run the query fast, that's the strength, and quick. Okay, then we give back the feedback to the Ford credit, and then they can go to the customer and say, okay, we give you a further discount, add 1 more month. Is that okay? So it's a customer feedback, a customer, your idea to help, to enhance your customer service actually. So you need to collect the data, work on it, and then the ideas can be funneled in. So that's case 1, which is about connected cars. Now I'm moving forward. This is a beautiful picture actually. I'm not sure how much you can see, but what they have used. And the interesting part at the top is that in real time they have used Azure Event Hub. This is interesting. Maybe I can demo this, because when you talk about large data coming in, what's important is like how much you can gulp and how much you can ingrace. It's like 1 GB per second of an ingrace Azure can give you. Huge. Otherwise, everything is going to be in the queue actually. So that kind of, we call it as Azure Hadoop. So when you go to cloud, Azure Event Hub, what do you call it as? Event Hub. So that's everything should be connected to the Event Hub, and then that large data can be collected, can be ingraced in, and then they take it down to, they use Stream Analytics, for that they use Storm, and then they go down, and then at the end what's important is that they keep the data inside Hive and HBase. So that's their objective, to keep the data there. Okay, but that's good. Now what we do next? I'm going to spend some time on explaining what Hadoop is. I spent time giving you an idea about IoT, then on correct? You getting it? But I think I can't see you. We connected on that stuff. I can't see. Video share. आप ऑफ करो जल्दी से, मैं हटा देता हूँ, अपने तरफ से करना शुरू करना किया? हाँ, ओके, so that's, you see the Raspberry Pi on the screen, on table. That's your IoT at your home. I mean, I call it an Internet of your things. So, yeah. So now what was happening is like you were communicating to the cloud. That IoT device was always communicating to the cloud. So this is how we bridge. So it's like central table at the center. From here you went to the table and made it flag as 1 or 0, whatever. We read it from there and made it on and off. Is it okay? So it's not difficult. So what's important is that when we keep collecting the data, the point is that how we do analytics on top of it. That's more important, which we have not done it here. But that's where Hadoop and machine learning will come. Now, how much time I have? 15 minutes more. Is it okay? So we can prolong something. At least let me inform him that it's done. Thank you. Is it okay? And then I'll try to do Hello World here to give you an idea about it. That's what the pitch would. Yeah. Please ask. How do we go? Thanks. Yeah, ask, keep asking.
Okay, so in IoT there are two spaces. One is machine to human communication, another is machine to machine communication. So in machine to human communication, you need a nice interface which can be scalable, and lagging is okay. But in a machine to machine communication, you don't need to have any interface, but lagging is a concern there.
You talking about my shoes talking to my shirt or something like that? That is machine to machine.
Machine to machine
Yeah, exactly,
right.
exactly.
So,
or maybe I can give you a better example. There's a tire company in Canada which says that I'm not going to sell kilometers. I'm not going to sell tires. I'm going to sell kilometers. So if it hits the iceberg, it's going to inform all other cars don't come here.
Okay, yes.
That is what you're talking. It's
Yes.
not machine to machine where you are not there with your mobile phone and switching on, switching off. Sounds good. Yeah.
So how is Azure going to deal with these different type of
No, but at the end, cloud and analytics is there at the back end.
At the end, the cloud is still there.
Believe me, the mechanism is same.
Yeah. But then the factor of lagging is there, right? If you have a human, you can have a lag. I just need to have the information in a nicer way to do some analysis.
I give you an example. You know, I was in Sweden with Magnus' house. I was a speaker there last week, and I was there in his house, and I opened the washroom window. I mean, I just wanted to have a fresh breath, and then we went out. And the moment we stepped out, he was not able to lock the doors. He said there is some window open. So that was machine to machine communication, but there was no cloud in that. Listen to me. I asked him, how long you have this infrastructure? He said, it's been 30 years now, we have it in home. So we already have system, but they are not collecting data and not doing analytics.
So my question is, how is cloud going to deal with these two different type of communications?
So one within the room, within your house, but it has to collect certain information which is meaningful, put it on the cloud because we have to do analytics on the top of it. Don't take me wrong, there was a dirty question asked by somebody. He says that I go to washroom in an IoT conference, I go to washroom, I put my hand there and there's water coming out. I pass the leak, there's a water coming out. You know, what sensors we are talking now? We have seen this past 10, 20 years back also. I said, no, probably a urine test will happen and you get a report on your mobile phone. But it's not, I mean, I'm just saying, just to give you an idea that we really need to do analysis, take that out and see that this virus is nearby or whatever. We have to do it. Is it okay?
Yeah.
So that's what I said. IoT is things, but then it's connected and intelligent. Otherwise, it's no. I mean, you have to do Hadoop, you have to bring cloud, you have to bring IoT together in one capsule. In isolation, there's no harm. I mean, the case
connection करे रहा वो
you need automation only. You don't need, I mean, the
push
case
कर
of
दो
water,
सब
maybe,
change हो
diaper and water. कितना गया पानी क्या जरूरत? Maybe it is needed and maybe it's not. Anyway, you have a question. Good. So we go live to Hello World here. I will require 5 minutes for that. Is it okay?
Hi, I think I have a question. You said that we can store all the points
Sorry, we?
You said that we can store all the voice notes, the speed of the car, and everything on the cloud. It is also implemented in some foreign countries like the satellite lock system, the voice lock system, and which can directly communicate with the satellite to unlock your car. Even you can park your car beside any.
Yeah, exactly.
area.
There's a Tesla,
Yeah.
automatic cars. Yeah.
So why can't we do the same thing in case of flights? Like why the government has to spend millions and millions of rupees to look for the black box in sudden accidents or
To look for?
black box.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean that's something. I'm a small
No,
person in this.
why can't we just store the information on the cloud in spite of the black box?
I'm there with you. I hope it happens soon.
Yeah, because government don't have to spend so much of money looking for a black box and engaging so many people.
I'm there with you. I'm looking for those things to happen so that we make more money out of it as a professional.
Can't we suggest it as like?
But there's nothing. I'm telling you, my uncle was in the army. He said, "तुम्हारा cloud में हम data डाल नहीं सकते army का." Then he was there with me in the railway. अच्छा TT को ID दे रहे थे.
Also, I can say that cloud is much more safer than even the black box.
I agree with you. I'm just sharing with you. The army, my cousin, my uncle who's in the army, is a big officer. He said, your cloud is not safe. My data is going there. We cannot port. And at the same time, when he's traveling with me in Rajdhani, he's giving his ID card to TT. His name is there in the train. Slowly things will change. It will change. It will be more secure. Don't worry about it. I said security. Government not coming to cloud is not a topic to discuss here. Is it okay? It's not a topic to discuss. Please, there's something. I can't stretch it. Huh?
You can suggest it to the.
I am there with you. I just say yes.
Thank you so much.
Helpless at the end. Yeah. Yeah, quick one, last question, and then we proceed. And I just want to do hello world, otherwise we missed out.
I think what's the reason behind government not implementing is that it's not only the Indian government, but non-government in the world has implemented it.
No.
The reason being that, what I think, because I was listening to ex-CEO of SAP last time when I was going through the Open SAP IoT course. So in that he was talking that the main reason why IoT is not facing the heat of the day is because of two main things that I was talking about.
Carry on.
First was the data ownership, while the other was the data security. So, how close do you think is Azure in measuring up with these two?
In terms of security?
Data security and data
So
ownership.
can you? I'll just cut it short. Can you give me an incident? Yeah. Can you give me an incident where Amazon or Azure have leaked the data of a customer? Can you give me one incident where Amazon or Azure has leaked the information about?
What I feel is the answer to this is because there are not many connected objects currently.
No, it's not.
And
It's not.
by
No, it's not. In fact, just cut it short. Long distance. Even iPhone, the test data is not. The test data was not. The password was not broken actually. Is it okay? So your data is your data at the end. So let's not get into this debate, which is ever lasting, ever long. Let's cut it short. Things will change. I see it. I fear for my wife. I fear for my servant at home. I keep my money in bank. I feel more secure. Is it okay? For me, that's the shortest answer. Is it okay? And things will change. The attitude will change. Let's not bring security, data, why it's not moving. Let's not bring that onto the floor now, please. Is it okay? Because that's debate. I cannot handle it. Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, for use case. Yeah, they're handling with multiple clouds.
Those clouds or they're intercommunicating?
No, they're not intercommunicating. Independently, they're taking the data to their Hadoop data center, which is private data center.
No, the car is sending data to the three different clouds or the
Very different cloud. Yeah, they're independent. They're not connected. No, we are not connected.
And why it's like sending data to cloud, the clouds are sending to that Hadoop. So why?
That's why I'm saying it's secure reason that one of the secure reasons was scalability. How much data you can put in one server, I'll just give you an example. In colleges, your university site is down on the day of exams, whereas Ola is never down. So you need scalability. You need cloud. You don't need one server to handle. You cannot handle it. It will collapse. It has to scale out. It has to scale. Is that okay? It has to scale. So cloud is must, no doubt about it. Before this, it was not possible. Before this, these things were not possible because cloud IoT kind of infrastructure was not there, Hadoop kind of technologies were not there to run the query fast. Now things will change. Now it will be all about what's going to happen tomorrow. It's not about, it's called predictive. I have a nice chart which says in the past they used to be, let me show that if it's there with me now, it'll be good. In the past, oh, this is very important. I think you should stop asking me questions, otherwise you miss out something which is interesting. Please, is it okay? This is the last question, sorry. So this is what would be, if we talk about something called traditional BI, it's like why did it happen? The next would be predicting things. And then changing into your format also. Is that okay? Okay, so I just want to keep it this much, and see, what I've done here is I have taken that scan disk, what do you call it? Microchip, is it okay? And I'm flashing the software here. Let's see why it's not recognizing. Okay, did it? Okay, then there's something called IoT image helper or IoT dash. So you have to download these things. Then you go here. This is the OS. It's called Windows 10 IoT OS. This I'll flash it, and that's where this is how I install the OS on that small card, and I'm going to put it in my Raspberry Pi. So if you look at the Raspberry Pi, I'm going to inject the card here. Is that okay? We'll use that board. Is it okay? We'll inject it and we'll project it how it looks like. So we try doing it. Maybe you have to give a power there. So okay, I'll let this get finished. Once this gets finished, meanwhile it will take some time, 10%, 20%. So let's get running in the back end, and I'll continue with my presentation. The other thing which now I have 5 minutes left. How much? Exactly 5 minutes left. Let me rush on something which is here. This is unbelievable. It's called Microsoft Cognitive Services. It's all about in the past, we collected data and we want this data to be more intelligent now. Is it okay? This is interesting. So it's all about collecting data. The data can be collected from various places. Okay, in the form of from mobile phone, from website. There could be reference data which is lying on your premises. We just put it all that, we do analysis. And similarly, we have done it. There's API we are providing it, and it's called Cortana Intelligence at the end, And what we're going to achieve with this, I just want to demonstrate something, and you're going to like it, because at the end, where we're heading towards something which is called vision, speech, language, and knowledge. I'll cut this long presentation short by saying that this is like human being. I want it to be like human being, that a machine should be able to have vision, speech, language, and how it will happen is this demonstration. I just want to give you here. I copy this and put it here. Just have a look at it. Okay, give me a moment. I'll come there. I'm not sure whether we can do that demo. I'm not able to copy it also. No, I'm a little stretched. Maybe go copy. Oh, it's not getting copied. Let me paste it there. No. This is the basic thing I learned in my life, copy paste, which is why it's not working. All my exams I have passed because of this skills. Right? ठीक है आप कर दीजिए right? Is it okay? तब तक तो कॉपी नहीं होगा. Net here? है थोड़ा बहुत है. Okay. Otherwise, quick. So if I upload a picture, now this is based on old data. This is all my wife pictures dancing in Garba. No, I don't want any of these. Which picture should I take? Let me check pictures. Everywhere I see Garba, so I have no idea what to do. Let me check if I have some decent picture of her. I mean, decent in the sense I want individual picture. Maybe I take this. Let's see. And let's see what it says about this picture. Uploading picture, and then there will be some analysis based on all the pictures like this in the past. Uploading image, but it has uploaded, I guess. No, it's taking time to upload. Oh, it's huge in size, that's the reason. Shall I open another one? And then analyzing the image. Is that okay? And let me go ahead and look for a small one. I can find the result here. I am not really confident, but I think a woman in a white dress posing for a picture and she seems smile, happy, whatever. Is it okay? So, whatever. Is it okay? And using these APIs, somebody in Microsoft has done something which is very interesting. I just want to play the video for that. So we cut it, we go to the folder. Where is the folder? Yeah, here is the video. And again, there's no voice, but I'll explain you. I wish it was there, but I just want to give you an idea. You can go and Google for it. It's called Cognitive Services AI. This is important. Just check what he's doing. Now he's going, he's feeling something happening. He sees the noise, he clicks the photograph, it goes into the way I was sending it. Is it okay? It goes there, he gets a voice that says that there is a kid who's using a skateboard. So he moves on. So he clicks on the photo. So that's what vision, as if it's a human being, That's why I said on the Pan Bahar ad, I wish I could tie up with an IM and Ahmedabad or somewhere and can do a research which says that on the phone, your expression will be taken and then we give it back to James Bond saying this is good you did or this is bad you did. Is it okay? So you're getting it? On a maybe Flipkart or an e-commerce site, you want to see how people react. I'm done actually. We'll not be able to do this. Is it okay? But I keep it this much only. I just have 1 minute. I should justify whatever time I got it. I know I stretched a little content. Fair enough. Is it okay? But I think you got the idea of where I was coming from and where I'm heading towards. And this is what I was saying that at the end this is the conclusion that this is the conclusion of my slide. That's the last slide that. You bring guidance to your idea using cloud and Azure. That's the goal. This we let it be. Is it okay? Yes.